Get hyped. Here we are, back again. It's been a minute, I would say, since the main tournament happened, and we're back. Here we are for qualifier number 1. I'm Fear Agent. Joining me today is Moogle Charm. Moogle, are you excited? Are you excited, Moogle?
Yeah, sorry, I was chatting on mute for just a second. Yeah,
I am so excited that you're speechless.
I almost had a heart attack. Yeah, I was saying that I jumped into the race time 10 minutes after Sinek posted the link just to see like how excited the community was, and we already had close to 90 entrants. We've got over 150 who've joined this race today. Everyone's excited. I'm excited. I can tell you're excited. I think it's time to go.
Yeah, 154 entrants. So, when I started racing this back a few years ago, like right after the big 512 tournament, we didn't have the ladder, we didn't have league, we didn't have a lot of different tournaments. Everything, the tournament was the main tournament was the tournament, and we have lots of different ways of racing this, lots of different tournaments. But there's a reason that this is the main tournament. Everyone gets hyped for it. This is the big show. So, it's super exciting to get back into this. We don't have a lot of races. We don't have any races that have 154 entrants in them anymore. The weeklies aren't really a thing anymore. There's not big races. Most people race the ladder now, which is great because it's one-on-one racing. But when you're in a big race, it makes racing different. It's a lot different to race a big entrance than it is to do one-on-one. So you got to make a lot more calculated risks when you're doing this because someone else is going to skip something and save time. So what are we doing here?
So the entire tournament, from qualifiers all the way through to the finals, will be standard hard mode. So obviously you can see we've got a couple of top tier runners here, Erior and zelgadissan, starting out Link's house. So the first 6 minutes roughly for all 154 entrants will be the same, having to go to the uncle to get their weapon, which can vary, between swords, bows, bombs, or what have you, all the way to go get Zelda to turn her in at Sanctuary. And we see a fire rod start right off the bat.
So for the first 6 minutes, we got to rescue Zelda. So this tournament, the main tournament this year, will be all standard hard mode. The entire tournament is going to be that. So we're going to see a lot of randomized weapons. But what standard hard mode is, it's basically Rando's version of the NMG any percent speedrun. It's like the closest version of that. So you're not going to see silvers. You're not going to see anything past like fire shield, and you're also not going to get any more hearts than 14. And you're not going to see the gold sword. So everything caps out at the
and one other thing, mail upgrades. We're not going to see any mail upgrades either. So the most that anyone will have going into Ganon would be, I believe it's 14 hearts, green mail, tempered sword.
Right. So standard. Nice early flute. Makes that trip to Kakariko great because you can activate your flute that first time there. So we're going to be looking for prize packs, hopefully containing bombs. So if you're playing this mode, you're going to want to get familiar with how prize packs work. The guards and the ropes are all in the same prize pack. The rats are in a separate prize pack. So those are your two different options of getting bombs as far as enemy drops go. And then, of course, we've got chests that we can open that could have a bomb as well. But we need at least one bomb to get the 3 items in the back.
Yep, and there are, I believe, 3 different prize packs that have bombs in them. One is bombs only, and then the other 2 will start with a small magic or a heart. So that's what we should be on the lookout for.
So we've got the fire rod already, we got the flute, and we've got a glove already. So nice opening start to this match here.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just, I think, clarify, we were talking about bombs because that obviously helps them get to the back of escape 3 chests. But with the glove already, it's not going to be terrible if they don't find gloves or if they don't find bombs, because they'll be able to get back there pretty easily.
But it is a time loss. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
if there's no bombs available, then it's not time loss for anybody because everyone has to do the same thing. But you'd like to get it out of the way here. So we've got actually both rods, the fire rod and the ice rod, coming out of escape. That's pretty insane.
So Turtle Rock will probably not be required. I think we can call that out right now.
All right, so we've got the key that allows us to get through the back of escape. We haven't seen the map yet, so there's the map still available. And I actually haven't seen any of the drops yet, so I'm not sure which prize pack the guards are in. The hard part about this is you have to really manage your resources here. Oh, I love what Eri's doing there. He's using the ice rod to freeze the guard and then use the pot to kill him to check out what that prize pack was.
Well,
small magic.
I believe it was the stun prize.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. So stun prize is a small magic there.
Yeah.
But normally if you have a sword, you could kill indiscriminately. Just kill all the guards you want, and it doesn't take any extra resources. When you have a fire rod, you have to have that magic available to kill the key right in the back. So you see Eri actually picking up some extra magic. This will allow him to farm a little bit more. At least because it looks like the guards and the rats. I haven't seen the pack, which pack it is, but not looking like bombs. We've got the lamp in escape. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that'll make things easier for them down the line, but nothing right now because obviously they have that little fake lamp that Zelda provides when you pick her up from the cell.
Right. All right, so 5 rupee drop from the rats. Not going to get any bombs here.
Yeah, like you said, everyone will be seeing the same thing, so there won't be any time loss for anyone other than having to go back, but everyone will have to do it. One thing that I find interesting is getting that flute right away. Obviously you're not going to see any divergence from anybody going to Kakariko. I think in a race this large, let's say you don't get that flute or boots, you might see people that just save and quit and go right to Eastern or something.
Right.
But with that flute, everyone's going to go to Kakariko.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a lot of divergence, right? You can go to the mountain, you can go to Ice Rod Cave Fake Flipper, you can go straight to the dam. There's a lot of different things you could do. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see what these two guys do on screen.
Yeah, we are getting a map check, so we've got pendants in both Eastern and Desert, and I think Hera was a regular crystal. So yeah, definitely heading over to Kakariko right away to activate that flute, just to make travel that much easier.
Yep. And like we said, a couple of top tier runners here. They didn't get those 3 chests in the back of Escape, but Eri walked out at like the 5:35 mark. So even if he gets those 3 chests, he's still probably sub 6. Very fast escapes for these guys.
Fire Rod will help with that. I mean, not having to. There's bombs in Lost Wood. That's nice going into Kakariko. Allows you to freely check Blind's Hut and the well there. And then we got Quake on Lumberjack was interesting because that could be required, and the Moon Pearl down in the drop down spot in the Lost Woods. So a lot of early items.
Yeah, definitely. So Zelga's going to miss out on that knowledge for now. I'd imagine if he gets those boots, he'll check that area pretty quickly. Yeah, so our runners that are going to check Lumberjack are going to want to hope that Meyer and Turtle Rock don't have that Quake required medallion to get in. So as we get to Kakariko, we get the majority of our overworld checks here in the light world. A lot of checks here in Blind's Hut and the well. Let's see what we start off with. The shield, $20. We got cash, which is nice, and some more bombs. So a nice early CAC. So you can basically, the only thing we were looking for at this point is a bottle, and we can just be done with Kakariko with a bow. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, and the bottle is not terrible to miss out on, given that you have the flute already. It's easy to check the kid.
Just being greedy, that's all. I just don't want
for sure.
to come back. Yeah.
Right. And I think it's also worth noting that we did get that Moon Pearl from the drop down in Lost Woods. So these guys are only one piece away from Dark World access.
Right. We got ourselves a hook shot, so no worries about a hover seed today.
So who's going to the mountain?
I mean, the mountain seems like the play to make, right?
Yeah, I think the one part that's unappealing is that lack of hammer or I guess mitts at this point to get as much of it done as possible. But
yeah, I still think you do South Shore checks. I mean, even if you're not doing all of them, Mini Moldworm Cave is just so many checks so quickly.
Right.
That you check that before heading up to the mountain, but
yeah, and also worth pointing out that we can clear Pendant Eastern.
Yeah, we can. I mean, it's fully in logic with that lamp and the fire rod as well. Yep. So, all right. So, Bird is activated for Zelga. Ari just a little bit behind, but he did check the lumberjack spot. That's why he's just a little bit behind Zelga here. So, behind on the checks, but does have that knowledge of what's on lumberjack, which could come in handy here.
Yep. And I can't remember, did we find that map in Escape? So are there 2 items in the back?
2 items in the back. It's
okay.
2, yeah. We got ourselves a book for Pendant Desert Palace. So
also, well, I guess not. Yeah, fully clearable, I guess, with that bow, technically. But
well, yeah, it depends on what's on that torch.
Yeah, right. Forgot about that.
But you're not. I mean, I hate early book. Honestly, I feel like that's one of the worst items to get early, especially for a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, and if something is there, they're going to get it really late, given all the other stuff they've got.
Right, just 10 arrows on the library ledge there. We got one more check here. That is the race game. Zelga, not going to check it blind. And just $20, able to flute right away, and he is going to head to the dam. It makes sense to check these early, just because, again, they are so quick, especially with the flute there. I kind of like checking a Gina's cave, though with the book, I feel like I'd actually be less incentivized to go check a Gina's cave here with the flute. So
yeah, I would say the only if they do a Gina's cave, it'd probably be after Ice Rod because of the save and quit aspect. They can just save and quit to Sanctuary and get that back of escape stuff out of the way.
So getting a nice magic refill from the bush crab there. So with 154 runners here in the qualifier, you're not necessarily looking to win the race. The qualifiers is just going to be for placement. The top 128. Oh, we got the mirror. So we do have access to hair and the boots.
Wow.
And then a shovel and a save and quit from Zaga. So it looks like we're just going to go straight to the mountain. Or is he going to check the shovel first? Nope, he's going to check bonk rocks. This is a seed.
Yeah.
It's generous right away. So, he's going to check the back of escape as well. Nice. And not even have to use any bombs now that we've got the boots here.
Yeah, I mean, we're 11 minutes in, and we can, start to think about how many more things we need. Mitts.
Both gloves available in escape.
So without that hammer now, the entire mountain is actually open.
That's right.
You're given that mirror and mitts combo. This is shaping up to be a pretty interesting seed.
The only problem though is you can't do Hera yet. I mean, you can go inside, but you can't kill Moldworm. I have an item that can kill Moldworm yet.
Exactly.
Except, Ari does.
Never mind.
So Zelga skipped out on the Ice Rod Cave, which is pretty understandable because you've got the flute. You can flute over to 8 at any time. For his sake, we hope he does do that. In qualifiers in a race with 154 runners, you have to make some skips. Have to is the wrong word.
You're more incentivized to do so.
Yes, you're more incentivized to make some skips because you want to save as much time as you can against some of the other runners. So there's our first 20. I'm guessing that's a mail upgrade.
It can
Or a
actually
bow.
be, yeah, another bow. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
so
with-
Zelga going to get that information about the Quake medallion here. He's, with the boots in hand, is going to check out the lumberjack spot. Erior going to pick up his mitts here as well. Oh, he already actually picked up his mitts. I'm sorry. He's going to check out King's Tomb. Shout out to our tracker day at Link Force for keeping track of everything. We do only have 2 runners on race stream. Normally in a qualifier races in the past, you've seen 4. 2 is a little bit easier to follow in a mode like this, or in pretty much any mode. 4 runners is a lot to follow.
Yeah.
Big shout outs to our tracker though for keeping track of everything for us. And there Quake is record. We're gonna see Aga today because Meyer is both a crystal and Quake. So
and Pod was the green pendant. So getting that early bow is a little scary.
So Hammer and Pod then probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. The dark maze more than likely. I don't know about you, but from my perspective, getting that hammer go mode is always quite awful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not that we're there yet, but certainly shaping up like it could be that way.
So Zelga does have the option of doing desert right now and full clarinet with bow and everything, but since it is pendant, choosing to skip out on it. Now it's interesting to me to do these checks but not do Ice Rod Cave. Though Ice Rod Cave is just a one-off check, so I guess that makes sense.
I think if I was put myself in his shoes, I think seeing that Quake immediately makes him want to go check what Meyer is, right? And is that going to be necessary? Got to check both that and TR. So the mountain actually might be the next play. Oh, he has to get the Quake anyway, so he knows about Meyer. So
yeah, one thing that's interesting about Aga is we can't actually do it yet. We do need either a cape or another sword.
Yep.
For Eri, and Zelga still on the hunt for that first sword. So what are we looking for here? We need Samaria Hammer Flippers
and another sword. Yep, that's it.
Wow, what a way to kick off the main tournament in 2021. All right, so Paradox Cave is going to give us a look at a whole bunch of items here. Just some arrows and some bombs to start out with.
Yeah, we'll be at the mountain though for a little while, given these 5 checks here. There's another 6 in Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave. You can check what's on the tablet. Jump into Hera. It's a lot of stuff to do here.
So Paradox Cave, even though giving us a lot of checks, not really giving us anything of value, though. We are only looking for a few items here at this point. With mitts, we've got access to all of the Dark Mountain stuff, but we have access all to the Dark World stuff as well. Village of Outcasts and Skull Woods, all the way to Hype Cave. So a lot of checks, a lot of availability. Though the mountain was sort of screaming at these runners, so it makes sense for them to come up here since it is so many checks, and you can get them all done right away.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even though they have all that access, the only dungeons they can actually beat are Eastern and Desert, which are both pendants, and then Skull Woods with a fighter sword and fire rod combo, which is never fun.
All right, so there's one piece of the puzzle. We got the flippers there in Hookshot Cave.
So can I amend that, hammer and pod comment to be in ice pallets now?
Ice pallets. Yeah. Swamp could always be fun. All right. So what do we need for Turtle Rock for entry? We need the double required Quake. So hard required to get that Quake medallion.
So as a runner, you're actually hoping to find, like, for Quake to be go mode. So it's like, if you're looking for the, let's say the cape or another sword, for instance.
Yeah. I think Samaria is going to be the tough one. I think that might be in a tricky spot.
Yeah.
All right, so Ari finishes his mountain clear. Let's see where he wants to go from here.
So did Ari do? He didn't check the tablet.
No, because
or jump into Hera.
Yeah, didn't mirror up there. They both did the same thing. Ari chose to check Spiral Cave as opposed to going over to Hera. So Ari gonna get his confirmation for Meyer here. I think Skull Woods is probably looking a little spicy right now with that early fire ride, though I guess, I don't know.
For these runners, yeah, I can get that. They should have minimal issues, with Mothula on Fighter Sword. Although Zelga doesn't have his sword yet, actually. So.
That's true. Yeah, Zelga still needs to make his way over to the Ice Rod Cave. We are going to see a dip into Desert Palace here from Ari.
This is interesting.
And neither of our runners choosing to go to Hera right away. What's funny is Desert also wasn't even boots locked. Just the compass on the torch. So they're going to find a small key or the big key here. It is the small key. Check out Sick Kid for a cane. It is the blue cane, though.
So now technically Thievestown is clearable. It would be really tough.
With blue cane, I think you could. Well, I mean, especially with the amount of hearts that they have, too.
Yeah, I guess where I'm going is you need magic management at that point.
Yeah.
You would have to be either really careful with how you use that magic on blind so as not to run out.
Yeah.
Or just go buy a green potion at this point.
Yeah. All right, so was that the first? I think that was the only item we got out of Desert. I could be wrong.
Yeah, even if it was the only item and there's still one on land, though,
you're not taking the time to go all the way to the back
for a pendant.
Yeah. The question is, again, we're in a race with 154 runners. If, who makes the call to clear pendant land mow for the hammer or something? You know what I mean? Like
right.
that's how you win one of these races.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you're Zelga or Ari, who, have such good execution that, they can make up time in other areas.
Yep. So Zelga making that play into Thievestown. See if he's able to find anything here. I would imagine he's going to try and full clear this. Like I said, it's a little bit of magic management, but someone of his caliber should have no issues clearing it.
Zelga did skip out on Skull Woods, though, because he wants to make one trip to Skull Woods. Not having that sword, makes it so he's going to want to come back later with Flute and with the Flute and Fire Rod already in hand. Not going to take him long, and Mirror and everything. Not going to take him long to get back here.
Yeah, definitely. I like the way that Ari's routing this. Given that he has the ability to clear Skull Woods. he doesn't yet have hammer, so getting to Hype Cave, he's got to take the long route south. So it makes sense for him to kind of start up here, make his way south through the Dark World. Maybe check the Graveyard Ledge on the way, but he'll be able to kind of like full clear the Dark World going this way.
Two items, I believe, in the front of Thieves Town, with the big key and the small key there as well. So could find the hammer here. It is possible. Just the compass in the vanilla big key spot of Skullwoods. Ari is going to check underneath the bridge before he goes back to Moth, just in case he finds a sword or something that half magic, anything that could make that fight just a little bit easier. Instead finds the map.
Yeah, and there is a heart down there too, so able to get one extra heart for this fight. You can see him stocking up a little bit. And he will be able to check. Well, that was a painful hit there.
Oh man, yeah, that's tough. He's used pretty much all of his magic.
Yeah,
and took a couple shots. This is Ari's one of the best of the best, and it just shows you how tough this can be. Especially when you have so much muscle memory that he has of playing with NMG. This is not NMG with that fighter sword.
No, definitely not. And only one fire rod shot now for this fight, so.
So we got two boss fights going on at the same time. Ari using sword spins, which is a nice way to keep Moth from firing too many shots. Just have to be careful here. Let's see how Zug is able to manage his magic.
Doing good on the first phase of blind. Ari's got to be careful. One hit from Moth will take him out at this point.
What's terrible is, you hit Moth into the spikes, negates all of the damage done by the swords.
Yeah, wow.
But Ari able to pull it off. And Zelga just runs out of magic there. That's so close. I mean, he literally had one more hit. But you're talking about, managing magic, and fortunate for Zelga, that's going to cost him a bit of time here.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like this is actually a good time to give the Go Mode podcast a shout out. It's a podcast that talks about A Link to the Past Randomizer, and this past episode, they were talking specifically about the magic management and how much magic, each of those items uses and everything. I would actually think about checking that out, but perfect timing there for that discussion. So yeah, Zelga's gonna, unfortunately have to go back and get, have to beat blind, and it's gonna be a little bit of a time sink.
I did get a postal check from Ari there, just heart or something, trash basically. So no incentive to clear Eastern desert and pod. Love that bomb jump from Ari there. Is rewarded with powder, which is one of those things that's kind of like, when do you want to check that without the hammer? Because you can mirror, with the mirror you can check it, but then you have to go back to the Skullwoods area, Upper Thieves Town, and get use the portal there to get back to the Dark World. And 10 bombs are our second item in Skullwoods. So both items actually in the front. Well, I think the big key was on Moth, so.
Yeah.
So these are actually some checks that Ari's going to do here. Let's see if he wants to go all the way to Graveyard Ledge. Usually if you're making your way this way, you are going to do that check. Zelga did skip out on this check. And again, playing the percentages, right? Like trying to make small percentage skips.
Yeah. And if you're area, you actually might consider going over to the catfish area and checking Zora as well, because you can always save and quit, flute back to Kakariko, and then take care of the Dark World again that way.
Oh, there's the mushroom, so that's even more incentive to check over by catfish. Still looking for another sword so we can finish off Aga to get that quake. Though again, as you said earlier, it might be better if that's just our go mode Aga.
Yeah, because then they know they can just fly right through Turtle Rock and Misery Mire in those instances.
Smith chain minus the hammer pegs not paying off.
Empty, yeah.
So I'm just gonna check the tablet here, and then we'll get our check into Hype Cave.
So knowing he has to gamble, do you see him jumping into Swamp? It's only one check.
I don't know. There's so much available with Eastern and Pod. I mean, Pod, I guess technically isn't. Oh no, with flippers, yeah, it is. Pod is in Logic, so yeah. I feel like Pod Eastern is probably the place to head, right?
Especially if you're in a gambling mode. Yeah, I think you take your chances with those pendant dungeons as opposed to that one check in Swamp. I completely agree.
All right, so Hype Cave, we start with 10 arrows. 4 more checks. Piece of heart. 3 bombs. Nice chest turns. $20 and a single rupee.
Hype Cave delivering again.
Yeah. The aptly named Hype Cave. Yeah. So where is the hammer going to be, Boogle?
I think it's going to be in the iced tea room.
Ugh. I think it's actually just going to be chilling in Saha's closet.
How
this whole time?
If that was the case, right?
Yeah. All right. So nothing on the blind check of the Hylia Island Lake there.
We can check Hobo fairly easily from here, which looks like he's going to do. Seems like he might be making his way over to the Pyramid Catfish, though. Well, no, but you don't want to skip out on Pod because you don't have that hammer yet. You can't. Right. You can't flute to 5. So never mind. He's probably gonna make his way back.
Yeah, Pod Eastern, mirror to Saha seems likely here. Interesting, Airy not even dipping into to Thieves Town, looking like he's gonna wait until he can at least find the hammer, or I guess that's what he's thinking. Doesn't want to leave the check there.
I guess having the mitts with the flute, it's certainly not terrible to get back to.
All right, Saha Closet, come through for me, dude. Come through. Make me look good. $300, a heart piece. Dang it.
So what's the last thing that we actually found of value? Is that the flippers on the mountain?
Yeah.
So I didn't see where Airy picked up that powder, but
that was the big chest of Skullwoods.
So Hammer could be on Magic Bat if he so chooses.
Yeah, for sure. That is a possibility.
And he's gonna check it.
Yeah, with flute, it makes it. Oh no!
I have not seen that.
Yeah, he held forward and missed the spot. That's unfortunate. So Pod is bow locked. You know, with that early bow, you actually kind of, I think, feel good about pod being bow locked. It gives us a reason to actually have that bow.
Right. And you certainly feel more incentive to keep going, thinking that it has something for you.
Gonna get some water checks here that we haven't gotten. So we got the Waterfall Ferry, the Zor, and the Ledge here. Well, Zelga is gonna give us a look at the bow lock side of pod, which has to have at least one key. There's the hammer. Oh my gosh, and a sword.
Okay.
So we are Kane of Samaria from Go mode. Wow.
That should be the real hype cave right there. That was
that was
a nice
that was
package.
huge. So what's interesting is you could have, you know, with the boots, a lot of runners after Ice Rod will use, you know, the boots glitch to water walk and check that. So with the amount of runners that we have, oh, there's the silver arrows. Guess what? $20. I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Nice little fake out.
Yeah. Yeah. With the amount of runners, I guarantee you some of them did that route where you check Ice Rod Cave with the boots, you know, dash down, jump
definitely.
in the water and check out Waterfall Ferry, get that early hammer and sword. So for Eric, I think he's just going to start clearing crystals now, right?
Yeah, there's no reason not to. Knowing that you're one item from Go mode at this point, you know, it makes the most sense to me. I think, I guess I'm curious as to when he's going to do Aga, but it's not absolutely necessary until he only has Meyer left on his checklist.
So make your prediction, Moogle. Where are we going to find Samaria today?
Can I go back to that iced tea room?
Iced tea room?
Only because then they'd have to do the bomb jump to get back there.
Right.
Not that these guys can't do it, but you know, then we won't be seeing any of that icebreaker glitch today.
Oh, Go mode.
Never mind.
Holy crap.
Wow. 35-minute Go mode for Airy. That's amazing.
All right, so this is bad news for Zelga. Still missing that first sword. Just see how soon he wants to head over.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like he might be thinking about clearing Eastern while he's here.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna mirror and do Eastern. I mean, at most he can find a sword here. And again, what Zelga is doing is he's playing the percentages. He's skipping out on like the one-off checks, the Ice Rod Caves and the Graveyard Ledges, and checking the areas that give him the most checks per minute.
Yep, which makes sense. And you know, and on top of it, doing a little bit of gambling. You know, I think missing out on that blind kill, knowing he's got to make up some time. You know, why not jump into some pendant dungeons?
So when is Aaron going to pull the trigger on Aga? So he that's his second crystal. He could go do Ice. He could go do Thieves Town.
From my perspective, there's no real reason to do it until you're ready to go clear Mire, probably after Ice Palace. But there's no real order that he needs to do these dungeons at this point.
So he's gonna do Thieves Town now. I imagine Flute over do Ice next. He'll still be opening checks. You know, trying to find that Tempered Sword is gonna. I wouldn't say a priority, but something that he's going to be on the lookout. He's not going to go out of his way for any checks, but he will be checking stuff that's in his way.
Yeah, I think I would guess Swamp Palace into Ice would be the play, just because you get a few more checks out of Swamp before you go into Ice.
Yeah. And it looks like he did dip into Thieves Town, so I missed that. he's using game knowledge again, knowing that he's in go mode, not going and grab the key in the back, knowing he's not going to check the big chest, and just using the key that he got in the front of East Town to go right through that door. All right, so where's Zelga have to? I think he got all the items out of Eastern and Pod, or at least enough to where he's not clearing the bosses. I didn't see him go back to Elma. I didn't see him go back to Armos Knights.
Yeah, he's on his way to the Pyramid and Catfish. Looks like.
So if you the god play of this seed would be after you get the boots, go to Ice Rod Cave, get your sword, fake flipper into Waterfall Ferry, get your hammer and your other sword, go up to the mountain, get flippers, do Hera, get Samaria, and you're basically in go mode. That's what it would be. You can skip out pretty much all of Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, well, I think what you would probably do is also check the Meyer medallion in there, and once you see it's Quake, that you're done. And given the field of runners that we have here, I think you're going to see some very fast times. Yeah, like the 110 mark.
Yeah, I was surprised knowing like neither Erior or Zelga dipped into Hera with the mirror there, but
I'm surprised that Eri didn't do it, knowing he could clear it. He had the hook shot. He could have, done the Hera pot to clean it up as well.
Right.
It's funny though that like in retrospect it worked out for him because he would have gotten that cane. He knows where Quake is, and he might. You never know. He might think that Meyer or Turtle Rock would be a play of some sort.
Right. Getting Bombo Stare from Blind, which can help out with your Cold Stare fight.
Yep, and Eri getting his third crystal.
And he is going to ice first. See how many extra checks he wants to make while he's here. I imagine, I don't think he's going to do anything like Pen Gators. Well, if you do Pen Gators and get a key, then you could save a little bit of time there as well.
Yeah, if I'm in his shoes, I'm doing the spike chest and probably Freezor, and that's it.
Yeah, saying no to the Pen Gators. Zelga going to pick up his sword here and hammer, though it's still only his fighter sword. Eri hitting the switch so he doesn't have to open different chests and find the big key there. So he's going to do the Icebreaker glitch here, which was not legal, or I don't think it was even found yet in the last tournament.
No, yeah, you're right. And for those of you who haven't seen it, what essentially he's trying to do is, you see, they're clipped through that little wall. It's a little bit of what we call a door state glitch, where the game thinks he's still in doorway, and he's basically just kind of finagling his way around that that block that he places on the ground, and the game will spit him out on the other side of that wall.
Oh my gosh! And there's the tempered sword.
Okay,
so this is working out really well for Eri here. So now, I mean, literally the only thing that he could get would be more hearts or half magic. So with, what has he got? 9 hearts. I feel like he's
good.
Perfectly fine with where he's at. He's not opening anything.
Yep.
Zelga going back and finishing off blind here, now that he's got that sword. And he's going to have to use Bombos, so it's good that he picked up Bombos here, not having to get any other magic. Able to break the shell with the Bombos medallion and then just clean up with that newly minted tempered sword. Nicely done.
Super clean fight there.
And gets a cape for his troubles.
As if he didn't have enough.
Yeah. The blind fight, unscripted, when you come back and blind's already spawned in the room, is a bit tougher than the scripted fight. But with the 12 hearts there and everything, Kane, no problem for Zelga. Something else that we should mention that wasn't available in the last main tournament is Quick Swap, which we see our runners using a lot of, which means you can switch between your Y items using L and R, which is just a huge quality of life change, in my opinion. And it's become the norm when both the ladder and the league allowed it. So,
yeah, it makes the game so much less tedious with all the, pausing just to move over for one item, for instance. It, like you said, quality of life is so much better.
I really like this routing from Erior. So he's going to do swamp, and then he's going to be able to go right up to the castle there and kill Aga, get his Quake medallion, finish off with Mire and Turtle Rock, and it's just blazing through at 44 minutes.
Yeah, this pace, he's probably gonna be sub 110. Let's talk about another 25 minutes.
Yeah, all depending on where Keys kind of laying out.
Yeah, well, he'll be done with his dungeon in 2 minutes.
Right,
so,
but if he gets like a God Mire, or if the big key's locked behind in the vanilla spot, and same thing with Turtle Rock is the big key vanilla, and then where's the big key in GT and all of that. So
yeah.
Regardless, it's going to be fast.
Yeah, definitely. And look at Zelga pinning the Gibdo in with him in that room. That was interesting. And yeah, so Zelga's still playing some catch up.
Yeah. I mean, he still needs to head up to Hera to pick up that Samaria as well. And again, he's behind a sword. I don't know when he's going to do Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, he may not actually get it. When he goes into Ice Palace, he might get that Master Sword and totally skip out on it.
Another new glitch that it was allowed by the Racing Council. We get the diver down glitch, which again wasn't available or known, I believe, at the time of the last main tournament. So. Similar things that are happening. Samaria basically equals broken in this game. Setting up a quick kill for Argus, which is not an easy thing to do. But Airy makes it look easy.
Is one of the top NMG runners in the world. I think he's got a 123 and a half time there. Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah, that was zero cycle Argus, double fire rod shot into the spin to quick kill it, and doesn't get much faster than that.
Simultaneous kills between these two runners. Zelga getting his second crystal, Airy picking up his fifth, and will be on his way to Aga and Mire shortly thereafter.
And if you want to watch a beautiful Aga Tower climb, you want to see how it's done properly, just watch Airy for the next the next 2 minutes, and he's going to show you some strats here that are bound to impress. Just clean, precise movement that is really consistent. So I'll go checking out the tablet there. And actually, normally when you do AGA, you only have Master Sword in the NMG runs. So a little bit different here.
Yeah, that fire rod providing some nice one-hit kill capability from far away. Definitely going to make life a little bit easier. I'm curious to know where Zelga's going to go next, because I think he's cleared almost all of the Dark World at this point.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to start hitting dungeons, so Swamp Ice probably seem likely for him.
Yeah.
Gets his second item out of Skull Woods and is out. We'll probably see a mirror here. We'll see where he wants to flute to. And normally you use fire rod, or excuse me, use your bow in a lot of these rooms, but with fire rod, which again you normally don't have in NMG here because it's in the Dark World, able to save even a little bit more time. So it looks like Zelga is going to be heading to Swamp, which again makes sense because it is a very item-dense location. Unfortunately, we know that it's a very empty location. So going to be losing some time here. Nice spin speed there for Ari to get, especially as high as he got.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, high execution runner here, blowing through Aga Tower. We'll see how many blue balls we've got. What's your prediction here?
2.
So gonna luck out.
Well, probably more than 2 now. At $20 in the first check for Zelga there. You might find a sword here. There's a possibility that there's 4 swords out there. The 4th one in hard mode does get turned into 20s, similarly to the way the silver arrows we saw from Zora get turned into a 20 as soon as you picked it up. So the swords are progressive. You'll find whatever order you find them in, doesn't really matter. This is the worst fight in the entire game. It's just so boring.
Yeah.
I mean, even blind, which is scripted, can bring some excitement for us as viewers, but nobody's dying to Aga.
Yeah, typically not. And I think what makes it worse is sometimes it could be so long with all those blue balls, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So Ari, using some more game knowledge there, fluting to 8 to get that, fast dash up to the lumberjack tree. I think a lot of runners would maybe save and quit to Sanctuary to do this, but Ari showing off the fast routes for us.
There it is, the Quake medallion for Ari. So he now is fully in go mode with all of the items. Gonna go head over to Meyer. Gets to do Turtle Rock next, and hoping for a go mode Meyer here. Early big key would be nice.
Yep, and Zelga not finding anything yet in Swamp. Doing those couple extra checks that Ari didn't do. Hopefully he does not go back in to do the left side. That would be a further time sink on his part. Hopefully, for his sake, he nopes out of here and goes to another dungeon to clear.
Yeah, he's hoping to find Samaria before having to do Ice Palace and everything. Again, still needs that second sword. So he's kind of, what I think he's trying to do is save Hera for last. Unfortunately, we know that Samaria is there.
Yeah, and being on Fighter's Sword, having to do the double spin or the double hit spin method on Argus, taking a little bit more time than that one cycle that Ari was able to get done.
Yeah, the 0 cycle even.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done by Zelga, though. That is not easy, those double spins on those puffs. And then the 4 ice rod shots is not easy. That is not easy at all. And
yeah,
we see how easy Zelga made that.
Yeah, that was only a 2 cycle, I believe.
Yeah, that was impressive. All right, all 3 medallions there. Don't need the 2 of them, but whatever. And Zelga going back, so just again gonna bleed some more time here.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for him. Hopefully he gets a sword out of it, but obviously we know that he's not going to find anything of real value here.
Second item, so still looking for that big key there, and Ari gonna wait, see if he can find it here before checking the vanilla location, which takes a lot of time since you do have to do a cutscene for it. And it's rewarded. There you go. Nice rail clip. Love that Ari gets to show off all of the newish tech.
Yeah.
It's funny that I call it new. It's been around for a while, but again, we haven't had main tournament in a minute. So if you're just picking up on watching the main tournament stuff, this is would be all new to you.
Yeah, not only pulling off the tech, but pulling it off extremely well. Super fast. On Zelga's side, he did the diver down using bombs. I think before we saw Ari using the cane, which is probably a little bit easier to pull off. With the bombs, it takes a slightly longer, and the lineup is a little bit different. But these guys are great runners, able to pull those off fast. And yet another glitch on Ari's side. I'm able to pull off the spooky action glitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought he lost it when he used the lamp there, but apparently he didn't. So that just again shows you the game knowledge that Ari has with this. It's like I thought he was losing the spooky action there, but didn't. Crystal number 6. Great fight from Ari on Vidi there. Zelga gonna get his master sword here. Finally checking Ice Rod Cave, 57 minutes in. Yeah. Kicking himself a little bit like, I could have had this so long ago.
Definitely a feels bad man moment.
Yeah. Just one more dungeon for Ari here.
So Zelga making his way to Ice Palace. Looks like we will end up seeing that Ice Palace bomb jump from him.
Yep.
He'll get that tempered sword, which will be, make things easier for him. But Still will be on that lookout for the cane. I do wonder if it's a good time to go up to Hera at this point. It's another crystal that he'll be able to acquire. He's done Eastern and Pod already.
Yeah.
It's probably the next play for him. Hopefully.
Big key in the Pengator room there. So with Turtle Rock, what you want to see, the God Turtle Rock, so to call it, would be 2 keys and the big key in the first 3 checks, with a key in Chain Chomps. That's like the quickest way through Turtle Rock. No, it never really works that way. See Erior actually heading to the right first.
Yeah, when you have the mirror, it's slightly faster to go this way. Zelga going for the bomb jump there.
Early big key is nice though. That does mean you get to save scum the not save some, but you get to scum the key from the pokey there at the big chest, or the big key chest. Take that and hopefully find a key on Crystal Roller Room or Laser Bridge. So
Yep.
So 1 key is required to be in the front. To continue on through the dungeon, you'll get another key from the pokey, and then you'll get 1 more key here from the Chain Chomps.
But Harry taking a hit from those chomps, it's pretty painful. But he's got a ton of safeties that'll help him out. You see him taking out that powder.
Yep. So we'll see him powder these anti-fairies on his way back probably, and steal this key from the pokey. And this allows him to skip a bunch of this, potentially skip a bunch of the dungeon here, not having to go outside and get the big chest. There is a very small possibility that he'll have to go back, but it's worth the risk because the percentage is so small.
Yeah, and the vast majority of runners would make the same skip.
Well, he proves me wrong. He is going outside. All right, so with that second key, though, with the key there, that allows him to skip Crystal Roller Room and skip Laser Bridge, so going to work out pretty well.
Yep. And you wonder if he made that play simply because he knows he's in go mode. He's about an hour in. He can probably sense that he's going to have a pretty good time in the qualifier. Mm-hmm. So, to take the extra, let's say, few seconds to do it versus what could be a minute penalty. It's probably worth that risk.
So Zelga with all 3 swords just needs to find Samaria now. So he still has Aga to do. Needs to make his way up to Hera again. But I imagine his thought process is just trying to save Hera for last. All right, now onto Trinex. Going to the back door. 5 hits. Tries being a bit of a punk here. I'm not going to be able to get the 1 cycle here. It will finish it off nicely. That's crystal number 7 for Ari, and he will be heading into Ganon's Tower. Look for that big key. Now, when the regular tournament starts, I do believe the big key guessing game will be run. For the qualifiers, though, we will not be running the Sahabot run big key guessing game. Though, feel free to get your guesses in chat where you think that big key could be. 22 different locations.
Yeah, and that token, where do you think it's going to be, Fear?
I'm going to say number 2. I think it's going to be in Hope Room.
Number 2. I might go with 7. Early, but not quite that early.
Yeah. I think Ari does a pretty standard check of Hope Room. If you have a small key, continue on to the Compass Room.
Zelga doing the bomb shop, so he's going to make his way over to the pyramid, get those 2 checks out of the way, and then presumably do Aga while he's there.
And I am wrong. He's going left. So he's going to check Stalfos room here for. We'll see if how he plays this out. If he mirrors after the 4 checks, or if he goes on. I'm not sure. Looks like he is mirroring.
So on the Compass room.
Yeah, it does get 1 key. So Stalfos room to the right, gonna check Hope room, and then go all over to Compass. If he doesn't get there, we'll mirror back. That is number 7, so both of our guesses are incorrect.
We've been wrong a lot this seed, Fear.
yeah. I mean that's pretty standard fare.
Yeah.
I like that he used the lamp to preserve magic and then ended up wasting a shot with the ice rod because of quick swap.
Right. Yeah, now pretty low on magic, actually.
Yeah. Might see him pick up this. There's a small container right here in one of these spots. And he's taking a bit of damage from the Gibdas there. Does get a nice refill from the heart piece. We see a bunch more checks, 4 more to be exact, and still no big key. He could continue on, but that puts the left side checks pretty deep, and you'd have to kill Ice Armos. And kind of hoping not to waste time doing that. So heads back to the left, going to check the map chest and the snake room, and then random room.
Yeah, and doing it this way will let him get to Ice Armos eventually anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about magic management before. Not that he's going to need it for a while. He doesn't really need it until he gets, up the tower. But, being able to pick up a couple of small magics, he'll get one in that room right before Mimics 1 as well. So, should be fine. But I think just something to watch out for.
Yeah. Small key there in the fire snake room. We've got random room. Do you think it's going to be here in the 4 chests of random room?
At this point, let's just say it's behind Ice Armos, and Ari will prove us wrong by it being here.
Deeper we go.
Is it
I remember. It's possible. 154 entrants today. Don't forget that. And Aries he's not going to sub 110 this, but
No.
still on a great pace.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said, getting bullied by the keys here a little bit. With an early big key, he would have been able to make it, close.
Oh no, it almost looked like he was not going to get that Bob's chest there. A little bit of NMG muscle memory there, but able to muscle his way through.
And showing us how Ice Armos is done. Really nice kill there.
Yeah, not even firing the extra arrow. Number 20 it is. Told you should have gone full right there. All right, Aga completed for Zelga. Gonna go pick up his Cane of Samaria. Probably see him full Claire Meyer. Oh no, he can't full Claire Meyer. He doesn't have a Samaria yet, so see where he goes from here. He does need to head up to Hera to pick up that Cane of Samaria.
Airy with a couple of beautiful mimic rooms there. I always struggle with mimics too personally. He just made it look incredibly easy.
Turns out when you have a 123 NMG time, you're pretty good.
Yep. So question in chat about the number of qualifier runs. So this is the first one, obviously. There are 16 total that'll be happening over a 3-week period. I believe the last one is 3 weeks from today. So for those of you interested, we'll go ahead and post the Discord link to the main Rando Discord. And from there, you should be able to see how you can enter this tournament if you'd like.
Blinking, you missed it. Ari finished the gauntlet there. That was very, very fast.
Yeah.
He gets the nice 1 cycle on lane 2 as well. So blazing through the seed is Erior.
As you said, that 123 NMG time paying off.
All right, so Zelga heading into Hera now. We'll be hitting go mode here in the next 30 seconds. And gonna feel pretty bad, having spent all that time in Pod and Eastern and full clearance Swamp.
Yep.
Getting that sword late. And that's just sort of like the nature of Rando, right? Like Zelga, don't take anything away from Zelga, excellent runner, just choosing to make higher density checks, ends up skipping out on some stuff and getting it pretty late.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Usually not everything in the entire seed is free, like it was in this one.
Right.
And pulling off the Herapot, with the hook speed there without any pause buffers or anything. Nicely done.
Yep. Get rewarded with half magic in the final room is kind of funny because it does nothing at this point, really.
This was supposed to be a hard seed. He's got every single safety imaginable outside of those mail upgrades.
All right, so just Meyer and Turtle Rock for Zelga here as Airy gets ready to take on Aghanim 2. Pretty good setup here for the first phase. Unfortunately, gets hit there and only is able to get one hit. Misses another opportunity to double there, possibly a triple. Avoids the blue ball. That was actually the hardest of the three, and is able to get the two off there. And another double. So nicely done by Ari. Don't make it too easy for him.
Yeah.
All right, Ganon fight away for Airy. And looking like a nice time here. Should be sub 115.
Right around that time, more than likely.
Gonna need 12 slashes here on the first 2 phases. And then able to get it on the first phase there. Using some spins and some dashes for phase 2 here.
Yeah, pulling off the super clean 1-in-1, very difficult to do. Does it with ease.
Yeah, we just need Ganon's warps to cooperate here. And as I say that, Ganon says, no, I will not cooperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 115 is starting to go away now with all those warps.
I know. And the arrows on Planet Zebes.
And we did find them, just can't use them. All right, so first 2, he was able to get that early spin before the lamps went out. Nice, that was close.
Wow.
That was a close one, but should be able to get some triples here. And just 12 spins. And Erior will finish this up. There it is.
There we go.
Get your GGs in chat for Airy as he finishes just above 1 hour, 15 minutes here in this first main tournament qualifier to kick things off. And Airy finishes with an official time, 1:15.10. Good enough for 10th place here on the first qualifier. So we've got 154 entrants. Our first placed finisher overall was Humbug with a time of 1:07.19. That is something. And we are now joined by Airy. GG's.
Yo, what's up?
How you feel about that one?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Considering the route, I expected it to actually finish higher, but I mean, I guess there were some pretty early go modes in this one, so I really can't complain.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would save you time, I guess, is if you got that hammer right after Ice Rod Cave. You could fake
Marker, right?
Yeah, you fake flipper and then you go up to the mountain, get all your flippers, do Hera, get Samaria, and you're in go mode basically at that point, as long as you check Lumberjack. So, unfortunately for Zelga, he skipped out on Ice Rod Cave, so he didn't have a sword for a long time. Ran out of magic on blind. Did Eastern and Pod, and kind of did hit the denser checks, and kind of had to go back and lost a bunch of time. But overall for you got it, feel pretty good. Top 10 in a race with 154 runners is a nice way to start the qualifiers. Overall, a pretty straightforward seed though, right? Like, what were your thoughts coming out of Escape with the equipment that you already had, Fire Rod and Ice Rod and Glove, Flute? Looks like we might have lost Area. Let's see if we can get him back. Meanwhile, Zelga I'm finished up my heads into Turtle Rock now. Let's get you a couple more finish times here.
Testing.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There we go.
Having some issues lately. Good to know. So yeah, the seat was pretty straightforward. I was really afraid that, considering the early equipment, it turned out to be like just a hunt for one item, like Kane. It actually took me like until Moldorm to realize that I was actually in go mode already.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, you hit it around the 35-minute mark. So I can see why you would feel that way.
yeah, it just all came so fast, and there was still so much open. So I was just constantly thinking about, okay, well, with the hammer, I can do Thieves Down now, and etc., etc. And then I was like, wait, I know where Quake is. I think I have everything. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then also, not want to waste time opening extra checks. Get that free sword, and the spike chest of Ice Palace is also pretty nice as well.
Yeah, I was gonna try to get some quick things on the way. I like to do that. Master Sword, especially with the low defenses that you have in hard standard, you'd rather have that extra offense. And with 2 swords still being out there, it felt like a reasonable choice.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you didn't really have to do much searching because it was just right there in front of you in that chest. It's kind of like along the way. So
yeah,
at that point, it's just go, go, go.
Yeah, not just in that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's like execution-wise, I'm pretty happy as well. GT was a little sloppy. Moth was very sketchy. Aside from that, I don't feel like I could have really made up a lot more time. So it really were like some 20-odd checks over the rest from what I've seen. So yeah, considering that, I think I'm really happy about how the seat went.
Yeah, you played really well. Moth is Moth when you have Fighter Sword. It's it's not NMG at that point. Well, and you end up taking a lot of damage from those Gibdos kind of early on, and having to use all your magic. So.
Yeah, it wasn't really Moth that was sketch. It was it was that room.
Yeah. But your gauntlet was, that was blazing fast. Overall, everything looked good to me.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I was answering a question in chat, and by the time I was done, you were already done with Gauntlet. I was like, did we even see that?
So let's give out a couple of times. Like I said, Humbug was first with 107. Spleeby was right behind him with 107.39. Humbug was 107.19. And we had a third 107 with Tedo at 107.46. So there were three really quick finishes there. Next up was Justin Z with a 111.50, Darkened Sky with a 112.27, Hayfield Bay with a 112.34, In the Name of DT 113.25, Dracaris with a 114.32, Zasis with a 114.39, and Erior rounds out our top 10 at 115.10. And you were looking for that sub 115 as well. It wouldn't have changed anything, but that 115, except Ganon gave you all those warps there.
Yeah, I wasn't a great Ganon fight either. Phase 4 was kind of sloppy, but yeah. I was just looking at everybody. Like, I was halfway through GT, and you suddenly see all the dead zones coming in. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna go.
So do you have your other 4 races planned out as far as which ones you're going to do? You try to get them all out of the way as fast as possible, or?
Yeah, it'll probably inevitably be 1 or 2 where I already have plans. So I might actually have to get up really early or stay up late to catch some less EU-friendly ones. But I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm not like 100% sure if I'm going to join it. The tourney. To begin with, it was just, okay, how does the mode feel? I haven't really joined a normal rando tournament in a while. It's either been like spoiler lock or mystery or like more team stuff. But I mean, if it keeps going like this, I'll probably give it a shot.
Well, let me ask you: do you enjoy standard hard mode? Have you been playing it on the ladder or in practice at all? Or
I've done a couple. I've not really done the acing seeds. It's okay. In a way, it really is more skill intensive. Like not having any safeties at all, whereas like defense or health wise, you don't really have much to give, and you really notice that. Other than that, it's fun. I mean, standard is okay. I prefer casual. I prefer having a sword over having a random item, because it also like sometimes makes bomb farming and escape a bit more RNG heavy and all that.
yeah,
But it's not a bad mode by any means. But I also think that once you've played Rando for over 3 years, that the standard modes are maybe not as exciting to do for an entire tournament anymore.
sure. I mean, when you do anything for a 3-year period, it's hard to keep it fresh. But I think the addition of the hard item pool will keep things a bit more spicy than they have in the past.
Yeah, it definitely makes late game execution like an even bigger factor. Just the fact that you really can't make too many mistakes in Todorok or GT or something, and it's easy to like give up a minute by having to play safe, etc., etc. And especially in tourney races, that can be a pretty big factor. So competitive wise, I think it's a really good mode. Just have to see if I'm gonna enjoy months of it.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are feeling the same way. Is do the qualifiers, kind of get a feel of how you're doing it, and then see if you want to join the tournament after that.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for competition anyway. So the answer is most probably yes anyway.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on you being in the tournament.
Definitely.
What's the highest you finished in one of the main tournaments so far?
I've made like in the league we've ended in brackets both times, or like 2 of the times that we joined. In the mystery tournaments that's going on right now, I'm in the finals against Kian. So I've won German tournaments. So it's not that I don't place well, despite.
Well, I know, but for the actual main tournament, what's the highest?
Oh, for the main tournament.
In the main tournament, yeah.
Let's see. I think I made top 64. Maybe I made. I don't remember like how far it was. Like I made brackets in the 2018 fall one. The one that had like 15 round groups.
Yeah, actually, I was in your group. That was my first tournament.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I think that was like top 64 then. I'm not even sure anymore. Somehow the main tournaments are.
it's been a while since the last main tournament, so it is kind of hard to remember. But
yeah, the last main tournament I didn't actually join because at that point I was a little burnt out at that point.
Well, if you do join this, I'm much like the NMG tournament. I'm expecting some big things from you. I think I predicted you to win the NMG tournament. So
yeah, that was a little easier to predict what's going to happen, though.
For sure. But let's just say if you join, you'll be in very high in my predictions as well for that.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna do my best, no matter what happens. But Rando is gonna be Rando.
We saw that firsthand from Zelga, because Zelga is an excellent runner, and the choices that he made didn't work out. Not that they were the wrong choices; they just didn't work out, and that's randomizer, right? Like that's kind of why we play this game. So,
and just like that, it's like probably shouldn't put too much stock in like whatever tournament results are going to happen. Like sometimes you just make a coin flip call that might be like 55-45 or something, and it doesn't work out. But that's what rando is.
Yeah, if this wasn't randomized, I probably would have won all the tournaments. So that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, exactly. But it's supposed to be fun, and as long as we're having fun, it's all good.
Totally.
But yeah, again, like just because Zelda made a decision that didn't work out, like the 15-minute gap that's going to happen is not at all indicative of how he may have done in the scene.
Yeah, that's the hard part about Rando, right? Is you see someone like Zelga who puts up, just consistent wins like on the ladder, and you see his execution and how clean it is, and it's like, do you let the randomization? Well, I think for a lot of us, do you roll with it, or you just let it tilt you? And for a lot of us, me included, I let it tilt me, because it's like, I did all this stuff and I lost by 15 minutes, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you were worse than by 15 minutes. Just made some wrong choices, and it kind of happens. So
yeah, like let me jump in real quick. In this one, I think him just missing out on Ice Rod Cave was really what caused the difference, because he fought blind without a sword. He ran out of magic. He had to go back and kill blind. He had no sword, so he couldn't go do Skullwoods. Right? Something as simple as that can burn you, and unfortunately, that's rando.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why we do all these qualifiers, right? Like, I'm assuming Zelga will, have a better time in some of these other qualifiers. Right. That's why we have a few of them, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting Zelga to be in the top, sort of like, however they break it up, to be in the top bracket of.
Yep.
Just you get opportunities to, you do 5, one of them drops out. You get the ability to kind of tank one of your races.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good thing too that not everything gets counted, because all in all, Link to the Past is still a hard game, and stuff can easily go wrong, and just messing something up, can tank your score.
Yeah.
All right, so just Aga 2 and get in here for Zelga, and we'll see if he wants to join us after that. Get some of his thoughts as well.
Yeah, I'll just let you two finish the comms until then. I'll hop back in. Zelga still is in for an interview.
Well, let me ask you one other thing. Where are you at on Quick Swap? Being
I think
one of the NMG gods, right? But having the ability to now quick swap in the not just cross keys but all modes. How are you enjoying that?
It took me a while to get used to. I think for competitive rando, it's a really good thing. I imagine that it's for newer runners, it's already pretty hard because there's so many different skill sets in rando. This just adds another one. Like menuing is a skill, but it's not really relevant like mechanically. But with quick swap added, it just like raises the bar even more, and it's really good for racing. I think just being able to find even newer strats to like find out where you can gain an edge. I think it's a lot of fun. I was pretty neutral on it at first, but I think it's a good addition.
I like the fact that Randomizer is a bit different than I think Zelga has a fairy here, so build a revive here. I do like the fact that Randomizer is different than the NMG any percent runs, and the fact that like Icebreaker, things like that are legal while in NMG they're not. I think having the separation is okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the games are like different enough at this point that it's good to have like different rule sets as well and different governing bodies in that sense. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I wish Rando would have, and I'm just going to, make a petition for it now. We need quick walls in Rando. Just add fast walls.
Oh, please. I see what you're saying. Yeah, so get rid of the time it takes for the walls to disappear.
Yes. Like in Desert, Mire, Pod, just remove those cutscenes, please.
I never even thought of that being a thing, and that would be awesome. Sign me up for that.
It's 100% possible because in the practice hack that we use for NMG, it's there. It is possible. We just need it in rando. It's the best quality of life thing we can get. Get on it, devs. That'll be all.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right. And that's it for zelgadissan. So he wraps up Ganon. Get your GGs in chat as he's going to finish up. Here, let me get this finish time.
I've got it for you.
Go ahead.
It is a 133.38. Good for 68th amongst the 154 runners.
If only he'd finished one spot further back. Shout out to Holy Smokes for 69. All right, so looks like Zelga will be joining us, so get some of his thoughts. I'm sure he's not the most happy about how this went, but we'll see what he has to say. We're now joined by zelgadissan. GG's.
GG's. Thank you.
So, not the finish you were probably hoping for, but not bad considering all the extra things that you did. Tell us, how you feel about that.
For me, I think it's just kind of funny. Like, I came into this, I was like, man, I'm just going to play kind of thorough. It's a qualifier, whatever. We'll just play really thorough. If someone's going to god route, obviously, but as long as we play thorough, we should be fine. Literally the only area of the world I didn't play thorough was Cave and Waterfall Fairy that had 2 swords and the hammer, which blocked literally everything. Like, it's so easy if I just do that. I get go mode flippers in Hookshot Cave. That's literally the only thing in the Dark World, and everything goes so much better. But it is what it is. All in all, I don't feel like I made terrible decisions. It's just pretty much as maximally punishing as it could have been.
No, I mean, when you were in Pod, we still hadn't seen where the hammer was. And so, all of your decisions made sense. You went to very dense locations and, you made skips like the Ice Rod Cave or Graveyard Ledge that, usually don't tend to pay off. And that's Randomizer, right? Especially with Qualifier with 154 runners in it.
Yeah, like I said, I really don't feel bad about my decision making. I do regret that I came into it saying I'm going to be very thorough, and then the one area of the game I chose not to be thorough had everything I needed. Other than that, pretty much everything else, I'm overall happy, even though obviously the time is god awful compared to the average. But that's just how it's going to be sometimes. I'm not going to stress that too much.
That's what the bump is for.
Yeah, totally. I think the only thing that kind of went sour for you, other than skipping what you ended up skipping, was the blind fight and just kind of running out of magic. I think I was on the last hit there too.
Yeah, I thought at the end of the second phase, I thought I got the last hit in, so I turned off Burna to save magic, and I guess it just didn't count. I know sometimes it's really has to hit 4 times for it to actually count as 3 hits, and I'm not sure what's up with that, but it's fine. It didn't really cost me anything in the spirit of the race. It took me another minute loss, which in the grand scheme of things is absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Yeah, it actually provided some theater because Ari was doing Fighter Sword Moth at exactly the same time with maybe 4 hearts because he got hit by a couple of Gibdos, and it was pretty entertaining to watch the 2 of you go through those 2 fights.
It was great.
So, Zelga, obviously not the way you wanted to start things, but you still have 4 more races. How do you feel about the tournament? How do you feel about the mode? What are your thoughts about everything going into this next season here?
Overall, I'm not really I don't mind the mode whatsoever. If you made me choose between standard or open, I would probably choose standard. So it's kind of cool that we're doing standard for the whole tournament. I do understand that some people are probably going to get bored of it, but it's it is what it is. Hard mode adds a nice little twist to it. I think all in all, myself even kind of depend too much on males at times. Like even if I'm doing spoiler races, I've got 5 hearts, but I've got a blue male or something. And
It helps so much.
It's such a big deal not having those. So I think it's going to make the that old phrase, like the cream will rise to the top here. So I think it'll be interesting over the course. And by the end, we're just going to have amazing runner against amazing runner, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this all shakes down, because we're excited for the two of you to kick this off, because you guys are such amazing runners. And again, none of your decisions were bad; they just didn't work out, and that's kind of why we enjoy this. And even after all of that, you finished 68th, right? Like at 154, and you cleared so much more. So
yeah. Like I said, all in all, I feel like I played pretty well. I don't have any huge execution issues, I think, apart from blind. And obviously Ganon went a little bit south, but by that point I was just kind of getting like frustrated. But
quick. Zora was the biggest baiter ever.
Yeah.
I
love that.
I was like, oh, hey, this is convenient. Oh, right, this is hard.
Yeah. It's funny when you see those silvers in hard mode, whether if they'll be on like Lake Hylia Island or the floating island or Zora, and you get excited. You're like, oh, wait a second, this is standard hard. They don't do anything for me, but they definitely pique your interest. Zelga, we asked Erior this: how you feel about QuickSwap becoming mainstream, now being part of the main tournament?
I like it. I do like the fact that there's like somewhat of a new skill added to the game. I am one of the kind of old holdouts that thinks that menuing is actually a really important skill, and I'm sad in some ways that's taken out, but honestly, by the end of the run, menuing is still probably faster than QuickSwap, depending on where you're going. So I think there's even a nice balance in there. You get some new QuickSwap only strats like Hookshot and Mirror and Hookshot Cave. Super Bunny, or like the Cape dashing in the front of Eastern. You get a lot of like things you're only going to see with QuickSwap, and I like the fact that there's kind of this next level of skill. So all in all, I'm a fan. I'm on Team QuickSwap.
Moogle, you had any questions for our runners today?
No, I think you hit most of them. The only one that I wanted to ask about actually was you guys made the mountain play relatively early on with all the equipment that you had, but you didn't jump into Hera, and I'm just curious why. Because Ari, you could have actually finished it off, given you could have Hera pot, and it was a crystal, and I noticed both of you guys actually dipped out of the mountain after. I think it was Spiral Cave. Got it.
Also, I had book, and I didn't want to have to come back if Ether Tablet did have anything. So I was like, well, if I can't find Master Sword, then I'll just go to Hera and finish it. So that was my idea behind it.
Makes sense.
In my position, I just didn't have a weapon for Moldorm, so I just kind of said screw it.
Yeah. It made more sense to me that you skipped out having a sword. It's just really more curious about Ari. And real quick, point out the collection rate difference. Fear, you mentioned he cleared out another game. 158 in an hour and a half is just mind-boggling. That is some fast clearing of the game for sure on a per minute basis. And you guys are talking about quick swap. Zelga had a 6-second menu time, which is also amazing. So that quick swap coming in handy.
Very nice.
Yeah. Any last thoughts from either our runners before we wrap this thing up?
Just for me, it's thank you guys for doing the commentary, tracking, restream. I appreciate being able to be showcased. Like I said, and obviously against a great runner like Ari, I finished 20 minutes behind. Obviously, it's not going to look so good, but I feel like I played pretty well still. So
yeah, I wouldn't worry about how you looked. Honestly, I feel like you played well. Honestly, you really did. You both did. So.
Yeah, especially in seats like this, finish times aren't like indicative of how well you're playing. Sometimes you just like skip one thing or make one decision that looks good but doesn't work out. So I don't think we have to worry about that. GG's though. And big thanks to comms and all that. Always a pleasure.
GG's to both of you. Good luck in the rest of your qualifiers and the rest of the tournament. I'm sure we'll see you guys at the top of the 128 qualifying list. And Ari, hope you do join. Big shout outs to our tracker today, Link40. Thanks again for tracking for us. Make sure you give a follow to our runners here. Links to their streams are in our chat. Moogle Charm, thanks so much for having me today. Always a pleasure to do comms for you. Excited for this tournament. It's been a while, and this is the cream of the crop. So it's exciting to see everyone turn out for the main tournament, because it's what brought a lot of us to this game. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to do this with you.
Likewise, man. This was an absolute blast and a pleasure to do comms with you, especially for these awesome runners, and looking forward to the rest of this tournament for sure.
Right. So the rest of the tournament, we've got some qualifiers coming up tomorrow, Monday, March 22nd, 8:10 p.m. Eastern is qualifier number 2. And then Wednesday, March 24th, 6:10 a.m. Eastern is qualifier number 3. So those are the next 2. And then Friday, March 26th, 11:10 p.m. Eastern is qualifier number 4. Next 3 qualifier races of the 16 that we have coming up. Make sure you join the Discord, get all the information, and if you want to run, those are the next ones you can join. 154 entrants today. It's exciting to see that many people play in this game. You don't see that often. So I think that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming. I've been Fear Agent. Link40 has been our tracker. Moogle Charm has been my co-com. Thanks T Sigma for setting this one up for us. Big shouts to everyone, and hope you all have a great day. Enjoy some rando.